Hi, I'm Nicole, and you're listening to Glow Wild, the podcast. I'm Nicole, and this is Glow Wild, the podcast. Yep, it's really happening. You have no idea how long this moment has been marinating. I've thought about launching this for years, and now here we are. You, me, and a mic. Whether you're in a car, on a walk, or hiding in your closet for a sanity break, I am just so happy you're here. Welcome. Way back in 2012, I actually started a podcast called You've Got This. So consider this the spiritual sequel, the glow up, if you will. My mission? To help you find your inner fire, even when life feels like it's just throwing lemon grenades at you. I am so excited you're here. Thank you for pressing play, for being curious, and for letting me hang out in your ears. That alone is the biggest gift, and I don't take it lightly. Why this podcast came to fruition. Let's get real for a second. Life can feel wildly unfair. Like, are we being punked? Kind of unfair. But here's the truth. You can rise, glow, thrive, even from the biggest dumpster fires. Glow Wild is about transformation. It's about falling down and getting back up with scraped knees and a better attitude. This is your reminder that your glow is not gone. It's just hiding under some emotional clutter. Each week, I'll share the real, raw stories from my own life, buckle up because it's a ride, alongside practical tools, research-based strategies, and inspiring guests to help you reignite your spark. You can expect some tears, some laughs, and what's really important, some tools that are as real as the laundry pile staring at you right now. A bit about me. So, just 6 months ago, I hit the big 4-0. I still feel like a 20-something trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. Can you relate? I recently read Lucille Ball's biography and found that she didn't even start I Love Lucy until she was 40 and was the first pregnant actress on TV. Like, what a legend. That lit a fire under me because guess what? I realized it's never too late to go after what you want in life. I've always been a do-it-yourself kind of gal. After college, I was a barista slinging cappuccinos and dreams on the side. I knew I wasn't made to clock into someone else's 9 to 5. So at 22, I wrote a list of everything I loved: painting, fitness, running, and writing. Spoiler alert, I chose fitness first, and Craigslist became my marketing department. Eventually, I built a full personal training business, launched boot camps, and opened a gym in Silicon Valley. Seems like I had it made, right? But even dream jobs get exhausting. I was on my feet all day and barely moving my own body. So I pivoted again. And as you'll see, many times over and over again. And I returned to my first love, art. Once I saw my paintings selling in galleries, I knew I was onto something real. And for 15 years, that has been my life and my passion. And now, here I am, combining everything I've learned to bring this podcast to life. Because creativity, storytelling, and healing aren't separate threads in my life. They're all woven together. There was a storm before my purpose. When 2020 hit, I was pregnant with my second daughter. The world was on lockdown, and I developed a pulmonary embolism, or a blood clot, in my lung. I was put on heavy blood thinners, and after a complicated birth and postpartum hemorrhage, I was left with a chronic injury that led to 13 surgeries and 2 ostomy bags. Yep, you heard that right. Because my injury was so rare, I had to travel all over, from Utah to New York City to the Mayo Clinic, missing years of both of my daughters' lives. I didn't even get to see my youngest daughter walk her first steps or talk her first words, and that broke me. And just when I thought the shit show was over, in July of 2023, just a month after I returned from my final surgery at the Mayo Clinic, my 3-year-old daughter Parker was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. My heart dropped. We were life-flighted out of our small town, and for almost 10 months, we lived in hospital rooms and rentals near treatment centers. Isolated, away from our family and friends, and living a life I could never have imagined. We've seen so much. Machines beeping through the night, endless tests, the buzz of fluorescent lights in sterile rooms. But we've also seen the deepest love, hope, and strength in the unlikeliest of places. In nurses who became like family, in other parents who knew our pain, and in my daughter's bravery. But here's what I learned in that storm. You can find stillness in the chaos. It's like being in the middle of a tornado, in the eye of the storm. Everything is chaotic around you, but you can still find calm. You can stay calm even when the world feels like it's falling apart. And sometimes it's in those darkest moments when we discover a new purpose. And what I learned is that finding your purpose amidst the dumpster fire is when you find the will to go on and a gratitude for life you never thought possible. How I found purpose in the pain. Running became my therapy during this time. Despite being out of shape and emotionally wrecked, I ended up training for the New York City Marathon with Fred's team to raise funds for childhood cancer research at Sloan Kettering. Every step I ran was for Parker and every other family battling this horrific disease. Together, with all of you, we raised $15,000. I now donate my art to cancer fundraisers, helping aid research and families going through what we did, and I give monthly to St. Jude. This is my mission and the purpose I found amidst the shit show I was living through. I've learned that sometimes healing doesn't look like a mountaintop moment. It looks like choosing to keep showing up even when everything feels broken. And that brings us full circle to this podcast, Glow Wild. It isn't just me babbling into a mic. It's me offering you a hand through the darkness, reminding you that no matter what life throws your way, you have the strength to get through it. I want to talk about some tools and things I did while going through this storm. Here are 3 science-backed ways to reignite your joy. Let's dive into all the ways you can rebuild joy and meaning after and during trauma. No BS, just tools that work because I've lived them. The first one is mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR. When life gets hard, the first thing we forget to do is breathe. Seriously. Sometimes I get so worked up I swear I could pass out before I remember to inhale. So let's do that now together. Deep breath in, hold, and exhale slowly. I feel better already. Isn't it amazing how one deep breath can reset your mindset and your nervous system? MBSR uses mindfulness, meditation, and body scans to reduce stress and overthinking. One study showed that veterans with PTSD had reduced symptoms and more self-compassion after just 8 weeks of this practice. During Parker's treatment, I used Sleep Cove, a podcast filled with guided meditations and sleep hypnosis episodes. During that 9-month treatment period where we were alone and isolated, it helped me sleep and worry less. During the worst time in my life, it's free, it's simple, and you can start tonight. If you need a starting point, try placing your hand over your heart while breathing deeply. It helps me feel grounded. Or open your door in the morning, face the sun, close your eyes, and take in the warmth. I did that just this morning, and what a difference it made. It's a small thing, but in the midst of trauma, small things are huge. You don't have to be good at it, you just have to start. The second tool I'm going to give you is positive psychology interventions. This isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's not about toxic positivity or ignoring the pain. It's about training your brain to see what is also true. You can be both amidst chaos and find the beauty that exists every day, everywhere. Here are 3 things I did every day that have helped me immensely. I want you to write down 5 to 10 things you're grateful for every single day. Envision the life where you're thriving and happy again, and the chaos and the trauma are behind you. They are still part of you, but you have learned to find happiness again. And I want you to do something kind or helpful for someone else. These small shifts build resilience. Research shows that consistent gratitude journaling can boost happiness and reduce depression for 6 months. And yes, I rolled my eyes at first too. Whenever someone asked me if I had tried journaling, I would scoff and think, you have no idea what I'm going through. But after practicing and giving it a real try, I found it started to work, even in the times I felt I had nothing to be grateful for. This is not slapping a smile over a scar. It's about letting light in without denying the dark. And the final tool I want to talk about today is behavioral activation. This one's a game changer. When we're down, we tend to withdraw. And behavioral activation says, do the opposite. Figure out what matters to you. Connection, movement, creativity, and schedule just one small action every day that aligns with that. You don't have to run a marathon yet, but even a short walk, a 10-minute painting session or knitting session, or a call to a friend or family member counts. Here are a few quick starters. If connection is what matters to you, send a voice note to a friend, send a text, pick up the phone and dial their number. If creativity lights you up, doodle while drinking your morning coffee, or even over a phone call to a friend. If movement matters, like it does to me, step outside and stretch your body for just a minute. Also, behavioral activation isn't about forcing productivity. It's about giving yourself a sense of agency, like you have control over your life again. When everything feels out of control, doing one thing on purpose can feel like reclaiming your power. The more you act like the person you want to be, the more you start to feel like that person. So let's wrap this up and recap. Here are your 3 steps to begin reclaiming your glow. Breathe, be present, try to meditate even if you suck at it, because Lord knows I do. How do you quiet an active mind? By practicing. Gratitude and giving. I want you to journal, visualize, and serve others. When I found my purpose in the worst time of my life, I realized I felt more connected, more determined, and had an overall feeling of contentment. Going beyond just thinking about yourself gives you purpose, and purpose moves mountains. Even if the acts seem small to you, they can mean the world to someone else. And finally, move your body, create, or connect with a loved one. If you've been knocked down, heartbroken, or just plain exhausted by life, I want you to hear this. Your glow is not gone. It's there, waiting for you to find it again. One breath, one list, one walk at a time. This week, I challenge you to pick up just one thing. Take the walk, make the call, write the gratitudes, or maybe just take that damn breath. Whatever it is, start right now. Start small and glow wild. If this episode helped you, please share it with a friend who might need a little light. And if you feel called, leave a review or reach out. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. You can also follow along on my Instagram at Glow Wild Podcast for bite-sized tools, updates, and maybe even a few behind-the-scenes dance parties. PSA, turning on music and dancing when you feel like absolute shit can change your state of mind within a few minutes. Thank you all for being here and for choosing to listen and for choosing yourself. Your joy is not optional. It's your privilege. Until next time, glow wild, everyone.